Okay, this is making moonshine the easy way. So basically what we have here is my mash that I've put in various containers. Basically consists of 1 cup to 2 cups per container of sugar and 2 teaspoons of highly active yeast and some apple slices. You can see in there that I just use don't eat your apples, then you can just throw those in for extra food for the yeast. And I've waited 6 days, and they're still bubbling at the very top. You can see the foam. I actually could probably wait another couple of days, but I'm going to go ahead and get started today with the supply that I have now. What I want to do is show you what I've used here. And if you can see that, it's Presto pressure cooker, and it's an 8 quart. And I've also got Gorilla glue right there. You can see that. I've got a Lowe's bucket. Okay, just a standard bucket, and I've used the Gorilla glue right there to seal the bottom where the copper tube comes out. And if you look inside there, you can see it spirals down, and just took a 10-piece of 3/8 copper, and it happens to go like that. And you just unwind this last little bit to make a little loop so that it can go in your pressure cooker. Now, basically what you're going to want to do is just remove this rubber tab from the pressure cooker. I'll just push it through, and that makes it so that this contraption actually fits exactly in there. There's no fitting needed. You don't need to go to Home Depot and buy a bunch of stuff. You just put it in there. It seals almost perfectly, and no steam will get out of there at all because it's an exact fit. You got to get the Presto kind though, and then you got to get 3/8 tubing. You wind it down, you poke a hole in the bottom, Gorilla glue to make sure no water gets into your moonshine, and then you're ready to go. And all you're going to want to do is take your mash, strain the apples out, and you're going to fill this about halfway. You can see the line in there from the use. You're going to go about halfway up, and you're going to get it set at 185 degrees. Now, how I test that is I'll actually leave this lid completely off until I'm ready to, until I'm at my temperature. It's kind of hard to regulate on a gas stove, but you just get your temperature up using a thermometer that you should have. I've got a precision one. They work great. And just let that sit over the top like so until you come up to your temperature, 185. Once that's done, you're steaming now. The steam's going to come into here. I'm going to fill this up with ice, and that's going to condense the steam from the mash into moonshine. Honey, you want to take the camera? All right, I'm just going to stand over there and plug it in.
Okay.
And,
There we go.
one bag. Now, the most important thing about this process is keeping the top of this cool as well. I'm going to show you how to do that here in just a second. We're going to fill this all the way to the top, as high as it can go. We're going to get that nice and ice full. Okay. Water's out of there, sterilized. And I've got this funnel. Get them at the dollar store. They have a little, they've got a little insert in there that has a screen, so none of the apples will get into my mix. So I'm only going to need probably one of these to get started. That's what we're going to pour this in. Okay, well, it looks like we can actually do two of these. Get started. And this mix should be mostly clear. It should smell like really old beer, and it should be about done bubbling. It can still be bubbling a little bit, but mostly done fermenting. Okay, set that aside. Make sure you have your own supply ready to go.
You're talking about the beer?
Yeah, you have to. You cannot make moonshine without a beer. Cannot. It is the biggest ingredient. Okay. So now, we're just gonna crank this up to high, just to get it up to temperature, and that's gonna take a little bit. Go ahead and unplug that, honey. Come over here. Unplug it. It's got enough juice. Go ahead. Plug it over here.
Okay.
Okay. Now, because I drink a lot of Jack Daniels, I have a lot of these little containers. Now, what you want to do is throw out the first shot of moonshine that you get. The very first shot is toxic. It's gonna make you sick, and oh, I just broke that. Wow. Okay. You're not gonna want to drink the very first shot. And then what I learned last time when I made my first set of moonshine is that when you make the moonshine, after a while, you start making water because you run out of alcohol. So you want to take about a half of cup at a time and test it by lighting it on fire, tasting it after you've thrown out the first shot. You're going to want to test it and just make sure that you still have alcohol coming out, not just water, steam converting back down into water. That's about it. This is the setup. As you can see, the pressure cooker will simply lock into place like so. Okay. This is going to come onto top, on the top of it, like so. It's going to stay like that. You're going to drip down into moonshine. Make sure you put your pressure cooker cap on, and that's how you can check to see if you're starting to get steam right away. You just lift that off and you'll be able to see it. Okay, this concludes the video, and I'll have another video up shortly of actually when the moonshine starts coming out in pour, so you can kind of get an idea of what to expect. Okay? Awesome.